So, Martin Hahn, why is the European Commission running a study on the European app economy? What's the purpose of it?
The European Commission identified clearly that we have a need for actions in the field of web entrepreneurship. And for the moment, we don't have sufficient evident data. We don't have a clear, complete picture for what is going on in that market. The market is very new, very rapid and diverse. So that is necessary that we have clear objectives and clear data. So that is the reason why we launched this study.
David Card from GigaOM Research. What type of app companies are you looking at, and what are the characteristics of those companies?
Well, there's a pretty big variety, actually, John. There's large companies like an Electronic Arts or a Microsoft that is making apps as part of their software business. But there's also advertising agencies that are creating apps for brands like McDonald's or Barclays Bank and using those kinds of things for distribution and loyalty programs and branding and awareness. There's also companies that are building applications inside their own IT departments, so doing things like customer service or banking services. And then there's these kind of small developers, almost like a cottage industry with a 1 or 2 or 3 person shop, and they may be trying to make the next big hit, or they may be contract vendors for the ad agencies, or they might be something else. There's a broad variety out there today.
Is there a correlation between the number of app downloads in the various app stores and the number of jobs, or the growth of the app economy in general?
Well, there's no doubt at all that we're seeing a huge acceleration in the growth of apps at the moment. We're seeing 900,000 apps available in the iTunes Store. We're going to have something in the region of 25 billion apps downloaded in the iOS Store alone. However, this is not a direct correlation with the growth of the European app economy. Around about a fifth of the top grossing apps on iOS and Android come from European publishers, so the majority from US. And in addition to that, so many publishers, so many developers have a really small reach. Round about a fifth of developers only have one app up there. Round about 40% of apps are downloaded less than a couple of thousand times. So we're in a situation where there is almost so much choice that there's no choice at all. And this paralysis of choice is going to make it increasingly hard for consumers to connect with European developers' apps.
So we're using Innocentive to brainstorm solutions to the primary problems in the European app economy. What kind of people who can take part in the crowdsourcing challenges?
Well, we like to think of our approach as challenge-driven innovation or open innovation. I think open's the key word. So we don't qualify any of our solvers. Anyone can come along and answer questions. My focus would be on trying to make the question applicable to as broad a community as possible. So to include end users, the platform providers, the professional developers, and the hobbyists. The nice thing about challenges around applications or software is that these platforms and applications are used in lots of different industries.